Alrighty, folks, we are back. We were going to be doing Dark Tide today, but everyone is kind of asleep, so we're just going to do a ramble instead and see where it goes. Joining me tonight, as you can see, are three people who I'm sure you all are very familiar with, and the cat as well. Starting with Rowan, who are you? Where do folk know you from? And what's your thoughts on Global Cat Day?
Hi, I'm Rowan. They, them. Thoughts on Global Cat Day? Very good. Spay and neuter your cats, people. We do not need any more invasive species in the world. Junie herself, who you've probably seen, is a mistake litter. Thank fuck that she got a good home. Her mum was a domestic short hair, and her dad was the local black and white stray cat. So probably could have used a catch, spay, and release program in Portsmouth. Yeah, they didn't spay the mama in time because of COVID. Thanks, COVID. And where do people know me from? This, primarily. I think I've tweeted twice in my life. You might know me from 2008 YouTube, the Warrior Cats fandom.
What was that?
Oddly specific. That's oddly specific.
What was that all about then?
Specific.
How to describe? Okay, so these days it's known for amazing MAPs and animated projects of the sort, and some very good artists. Back in the day, it was known for edgy blood cat videos. Lots of blood, lots of death, very edgy. Usually had Linkin Park playing in the background.
Yes!
And it was a bunch of teenagers learning how to draw and animate, and I was one of them back in the day. And then I went to uni and didn't draw anymore and don't have time anymore for anything. And I kind of dropped off the face of the earth in that community while they all became professional animators.
So what you're telling us is you're a nerd.
Yeah, sod it. The books are shit, but I still really like them. They're nostalgic for me, at least. Best character is Longtail, if that means anything to anyone. Best boy. I have nothing to say about this, really. It's just a very weird part of my history.
Well, that's fine. Something we don't think we'd ever covered before, actually.
Yeah.
Right. Amy.
Hello, I'm Amy, aka Meg as well. I'm one of the regulars on Penance RPG. I'm also on Pretend with Dice with AJ and the wonderful Eden. Well, now Rowan's revealed a slightly part of her history. I kind of feel inclined to reveal my own, a little bit of my own. So I write a lot of Dragon Age stuff. Dragon Age is the game for me. So I do an awful lot of writing over there, and I write with a great bunch of friends. We plot and do loads of stories and things. So yeah, if you've ever met Meg the Pit over in any of those forums, I've probably been around. But yeah, that's about it. I'm not going to go anymore.
So you've got the benefit of at least being an adult when the internet appeared. I was a teenager.
Yeah.
12
I was there with MSN, MSN Messenger,
God.
when I had a computer and dirt.
Yep.
When we had a computer. Yep.
Noises every time you started it up.
Yep.
And your
Childhood.
Oh god.
Your thoughts of Global Cat Day, Amy?
My thoughts of Global Cat Day: that cats secretly rule the world anyway, and this is just a holiday for them.
I'm trying to get him to nod, but he just wants to fall asleep in my hand.
Oh, Luther, you're so cute. I don't know where mine is. Mine is lurking about somewhere.
Alright, and Mr. Tom.
Hello, I am Mr. Tom. That's all.
What's your thoughts on Global Cat Day then?
Well,
And some internet history, if you can.
internet history. My name, the name I go by, Tom Sweep, on the internet is a mix of my name and also I was Tom the chimney sweep in a Christmas production in primary school, aged 11, maybe 10 actually.
I could see you as a chimney sweep.
And yeah, it's the hair, isn't it?
Mm.
Shortly, I think actually during the play, I discovered the internet, and specifically the Lego website with its Lego games.
So this image of you like loading your phone up during the middle of the play and just eyes wide and you just go. No,
and it was like I guess like Farmville.
Yeah.
It was that, but a Lego version. I imagine it's probably long gone by now. But that, and then I was like, you need a name. Well, let's just put in this name, and I've used that username for almost everything else ever since. That is my internet history, and cats are cute. That's my thoughts on Cat Day.
Fair. I think if I've got any weird. I haven't really got any weird internet shit that I used to do. I didn't really do much. No, I didn't really do much.
No YouTube.
No. Before the stream, we didn't do YouTube or anything like that.
No, we didn't.
Like, most of the stuff I did was really dull, actually, now if I think about it. Played a lot of WoW for a bunch of years, so I was a guildmaster in a raiding guild in WoW for 10 years.
Yes, because I was in the guild
You
for
were.
a short time. For a short time.
Everyone basically was in that guild for a while. Belry was in the guild briefly as well before he was like, WoW is shit, and I was like...
This is boy.
Yeah.
I think I knew someone who was in the guild, and that's how I ended up here. Yeah.
The
I
guild.
was like 19.
Yeah.
Oh god.
She was in the guild for a while, and she went off to form her own thing. But yeah, like, it's seen a lot of people come and go. It's still going. I'm just not a part of it anymore because I've left. Well, not left, but I've like handed over the guildmaster to someone else, and I'm still in the guild technically, but I don't think I think I'm, as far as I'm aware, I think I'm just been put in the rank of they've not logged in a long time, which we had quite a lot of people in. Because we had a lot of people that come back after like 2 years. Yeah. Just waiting for someone to bring the shotgun to me. But yeah, that's really all I did for like 10 years. I was a guildmaster in WoW, which I got the job by being drunk at the wrong time. Because the previous GM was like, I'm going to leave, and I was like, I'll do it! And he was having a serious conversation with the other person that was probably going to be the person that took over instead of me. But I was drunk and said I'd do it, and then the next day I woke up with a hangover and realised I was in charge of the guild.
I have all the power.
Oh, no.
I had a slightly viral video.
Oh.
I had an awful, slightly viral video. Like, this is back in like 2012. It got 10k views, which was a lot at the time.
That is a lot.
It
Even
was.
now, that's pretty good.
It's not bad.
That's really good.
If anyone remembers this, horrifyingly, it was a speed paint of a character death from Warrior Cats that had Linkin Park lyrics in the background. In the End by Linkin Park.
I spot a small theme here, but yes.
In fact, I might still be able to find the awful, god-awful picture.
Oh god.
It's gonna lurk in our Discord. Oh no.
Yeah.
What thing should I stick it in?
Put it in Discord. Put it in the
bin.
Probably.
Nice stuff.
Hey! If it's as bad as she says, I'm not sure I want to see.
Screenshots?
Yeah.
That might be
Screenshots.
I think that's the best I can kind of find.
I will fix the Discord eventually.
Right, let me... So, this should
Have you?
be
I guess. Have you seen it before?
2012?
No.
No, it's earlier than 2012.
Oh,
Was it 2011?
I thought you knew what it was like. That's what I was asking.
No, probably earlier. Let's try 2010.
Oh god.
Oh,
We're
laptop.
dialing backwards till we find it.
Oh, found it. 2010.
I love the found it.
Yeah. I mean, okay, prepare yourself. I was 13 at the time.
Okay, I'm ready.
We're ready.
Feel old now.
There you go.
If my laptop will cooperate.
Which one is it? General.
Screenshots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
My
Discord.
body and soul is ready.
Oh, good lord. Yeah. Yeah, it's not good.
Ooh,
I think
That's
yeah.
it's so
My-
blurry.
it's very
My-
blurry.
My
I'll see if
computer
I
is
can
just
get this
not
one
doing it.
on stream
Yeah,
for
I mean,
everyone
this
else.
was, again, 2010. This was a large image back in 2010. I think I did redraw it a few years ago.
Man, you
trying to
really
find
liked the
that
glow
version.
effect, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Can you tell I was 13? But yeah, this speed paint got 10k something views.
Honestly,
something.
it's not actually that bad. I was expecting worse.
I will pull this onto the stream.
Oh, please don't actually.
You don't want me to?
Fine, just
It's like it's
Again, I
not
was
actually all that
13.
bad.
You ready, everyone?
No, it's not that bad.
There we go.
it's
Yeah,
not
you've-
good either.
It's better than what my 13 ass could
You've
draw
overused
at that
the
time.
glowy.
There you go.
the
It's gonna be on
captions are the
stream for
wrong
another
colour
5
and
seconds.
font,
It's going away.
Yeah, I
4,
think I
3,
couldn't change the
2.
font.
1. And it's gone again.
It's disappeared now.
I'm still trying to find that attempted redraw I did yonks ago. No idea where it is.
I can't
I
say
love
that.
I love my drawing of Lotte from 2115. I absolutely adored it.
Oh, thank you. I need to do the cast for the Dragon Age one. I need to do that. It's on my
Yeah.
list. I did start trying to draw Juniper, and it didn't really. I struggled with the body for some reason, particularly the feet.
Ruth's basically just a hobo version of Legolas with a staff. It's literally Ruth. It's like
And his chest
I'm a
in the background.
I'm a blonde-haired elf, but I am dressed like it's like the winter, like literally like myself, because my house is freezing cold. So I have all the layers and a hot water bottle today. But yeah, that's Ruth basically. Literally hobo.
You need to
Legolas.
migrate in the winter.
Apparently, I did this redraw in like 2014, so this was 4 years later. I never finished it, but
That's very good.
Yeah,
not as bad.
that is good. No, that's good.
It's,
Oh, nice.
mm,
I'm having to look at my phone because my computer will not.
the context for this, the character is Flametail, and he drowned in an icy lake, and the main character like tried to save him and failed, and he died straight up. This series was brutal.
What, the main character?
No,
or
the Flametail, the
one-
one he's the
Drowning.
orange one.
The one he's
They're
trying
both
to
white.
rescue.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I see the other picture. Right.
Yeah.
I was looking at the second. I was like, the orange
and
one?
He related. I think it was like your stepdad's sister's son kind of deal.
Got real
if I remember
CK3 vibes there.
Correctly. Man, the Warrior Cats fandom was weird back in the day.
Every fandom gets weird.
Every fandom does get very weird.
It does.
There is no escape from the weird in the fandoms.
Yeah. Alright.
Right, let's leave that tangent on the roadside like the road point is.
Keep driving, keep driving.
Keep driving.
Don't look at it! Don't look at it! Don't make eye contact!
Alright,
Keep
give
your
me
cats indoors, kids.
alright, give me a random month and we'll find an average day to talk about.
A random month.
Yep.
February.
February. International Days in February. Let's find something weird. What is that? World Aspergillus Day. Raise awareness but underdiagnosed fungal infection. Anyone have anything to say about random?
Other than
about
it's
those
gross.
things? Yeah.
Other than it's gross.
There is World Player Ukulele Day.
Ukulele.
Does anyone own a ukulele?
Munchkin can
No.
play the ukulele.
Oh.
She has a ukulele. Well, she had a ukulele.
She had one, and she got rid of it.
Well, she's moved to America, so I don't know if it went with her or not. So, or she might have bought a new one by now. But yeah, Munchkin plays the ukulele.
It's very quiet. I thought we'd get at least a bit of chat over that. Okay. What's next? World Wetlands Day.
But
Yeah,
like the Everglades kind of thing.
I assume so.
I mean, there's wetlands everywhere.
Yeah.
Very good for conserving bird species. Protect them birds.
Protect them birds. Wetlands are a distinct ecosystem that is flooded by water either permanently or seasonally. Examples of wetlands include swamps, lagoons, coral reefs, and salt marshes. The vegetation of aquatic plants make wetlands different from other landforms or water bodies.
Bogs.
Bog bodies, bog
Oh,
bodies.
Oh no!
Nah, just
I hate
just regular
bodies.
bogs. Just regular bogs, you know, just like moss.
In
That's
fact,
all a bog is,
actually,
moss and
to
water.
my side. Speaking of bog bodies, I have.
Please do not show pictures.
No,
I am
no.
begging you.
No.
I'm
I will
begging
not.
you.
I will not. I
The
will not
Lindo
trigger
Man, the
anyone's.
body in the bog.
I
Okay.
have the Body in the Bog book, which I found in a charity shop for. What
Yeah.
what's the price tag on it? I wonder.
I mean, amazing preservation,
years.
wonderful science. Love that aspect. Hate
No.
looking at them.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's cool, but it's horrifying.
It's so cool.
Okay.
Rowan got traumatized by one of these when Rowan was 11.
I mean, when you come across when like they're first discovered, they're terrifying to look at. Like, can you imagine finding one? Like being the
Oh.
first person to find one. That's just like.
It's
You would-
it's the
you
thought
wouldn't
of
know.
the skin. It's the thought of touching it. You know.
Alright, move on, please. That's enough of that.
No one think about that, Tom? No? Okay.
No.
World Pisco Sour Day. What the fuck is a Pisco Sour? Peru's
Sounds like
national drink.
Is it an alcoholic drink? Like
It's
a cocktail?
it's
or?
a white brandy made in Peru from grapes. And then lime juice, egg whites, and bitters.
Doesn't sound awful.
No, I didn't know Peru had a national drink.
I think most
more you
places
learn.
do. I think alcohol's
Yeah.
pretty universal.
Yeah, but just very confused. How to observe World Pisco Sour Day? Visit a Peruvian restaurant and celebrate with a Pisco Sour. What kind of restaurant is a Peruvian restaurant? Is it going to be like Brazilian restaurants?
Well,
or very meat-like?
the only thing I know about Peru is that they eat guinea pigs.
Yeah, I do know someone that
That's
went to
literally the
Peru
only
and
thing-
accidentally
the only
ate guinea
food
pig
thing.
meat and felt really bad about it for the next week.
Yeah, because they just have them in the houses. And like, Susie's parents went one year, and they went to like a village and on their way to somewhere, and they just had them in the house, like little families of guinea pigs just running around, and they like chickens basically.
I mean, there
Just,
can't
like,
be that
herd
much
them like
meat in a
chickens.
guinea pig.
I have no idea. Well, no, probably not, unless they
Not
fatten
a
them
lot,
up
but
really
they
well.
breed like crazy, so
They
it
do,
kind
they
of
do.
makes sense.
They do,
And they eat most kind of vegetable things, so
and they're adorably cute.
They are
And
adorable.
basically harmless. And again, breed like crazy. They're basically chickens, but
Yeah,
mammals.
basically rabbits.
Yeah,
basically
chickens are
Yeah.
very easy to
small
keep. Though.
rabbits.
Yeah, I mean, so are guinea pigs. You know, put them somewhere and give them vegetables and clean up their poo.
Yep. Make sure
And
they have
then-
lots and lots of hay.
Yep. And then you've got 500 guinea pigs, and that's a guinea pig a day. So, yeah.
I mean, when you have 500 a day, you're basically can easily justify several of them going in the pot, I guess.
Yeah, they're one of those animals.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly fond of them. myself.
A lot of people are.
I like them. I like them.
The noises they make are very cute.
They get panicked very easily by things.
Yeah, they're very nervous.
Well, I
which,
mean,
fair
we are
enough, they
like,
go in
you
the
know,
pot all the time.
we are 20 times their mass, so I wouldn't be all that surprised if they're easily spooked. Actually, probably more than 20 times. What's an average human? 75 kilos? And a guinea pig's probably half a kilo, maybe a full kilo if it's a fat one.
Oh, I don't.
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it's even a
heavy is
kilo.
a guinea pig?
I mean, when I had guinea pigs when I was a kid, I'm pretty sure they weighed like maybe, at an absolute most, maybe like 300. They're really not. 300 grams.
sure.
They're not that heavy.
No, I think a kilo is probably right. At the
Really?
most.
0.7
For
to
real-
1.2 kilos.
Ah, okay
chunky
then.
one.
So
Ah.
about a kilo then. So about a
I'm way
kilo
off
then.
then. I'm sure
guess
I'm sure the ones I
Well,
had as a
bag of
kid were not
sugar.
that heavy.
Bag of sugar's a kilo, is it not?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do
Bag
not
of
think they
sugar.
weigh
That's
as
why I
much as a
always-
bag of sugar. Like, I've had
that's
rabbits that weighed a
That's
kilo.
what I always think of. No,
Well-
rabbits are bigger than that. They're probably more like
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
1.5 maybe,
Well-
but...
Frank, my cat is about 3 kilos.
Well, this cat is 3.8, I think he was when he weighed him the other week. But he's
Junie's actually
useless.
4.
Yeah, but
She a chunky.
this idiot was 3.3
short
first time we weighed him when we got him here.
It'll be all the fur.
It's all the muscle. British Shorthairs are bloody muscly. Have you seen her jumping around?
I only
Jump,
see what's on the
jump,
screen every
jump.
now and again.
Jump around.
Yeah, true.
Jump around.
Currently, like, way up. And she can jump up there from the floor. It's
Frankie goes,
metre and a half.
we've got the window here, and she like jumps through that window all the time to get out in the summer. And then we've got the shed, and it's a slanted roof, so she goes all the way up to the very top and then like jumps all the way down. So she's constantly running around chasing bugs as well. It's so funny.
That's a great. How do we bend up back on cats?
We
Because it's
always end up
National
on
Cat.
cats.
It's World Cat Day.
It's not World Cat. What was it called? It was Global
Global Cat Day.
Global Cat Day or something like that. Yeah. I suppose we should probably do some RPG questions rather than just things as we are.
Well, you know.
So what's your experience in RPGs, Tom?
This. Actually, no, RPGs.
Yes, RPGs.
As in, including the video game style of RPGs,
Oh,
or
I
just
suppose
Yeah,
so.
go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then extensive. In that case, I've played a lot of them. There's, your classic Skyrim, Fallout, sort of Bethesda RPGs. More sort of chill RPGs like Stardew Valley. Actually, that's not really role-playing game. There's an element of role-play there. I'm gonna call it that. Just because it's not an adventure RPG.
Well,
Jeez.
Stardew has adventure. It's just very calm.
Tame.
Yeah.
It's pretty tame adventure, which is nice, you know. It's
Yeah.
specifically a game about chilling the hell out. So that's what I do. I don't know, what other games? Basically, almost all the games I play are RPGs because I'm too slow for shooters, and yeah. What other games are there? Puzzle
Sims.
games. I like puzzles. Sims.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's only really kind of shooters, RPGs, driving games.
Because like role playing is such a wide, a broad phrase that you can sort of shoehorn it into. If it was like adventure RPGs and like then if you subdivide it up, then it covers a lot less ground. But
Yeah.
got a farm. Is like The Sims. Is that a role playing game, or is that
I just never got into The Sims at all.
if you're only playing one character, are you pretending to be that character?
I mainly use it to build houses. That's what I mainly use The Sims for. I build a
like-
house.
I mean, in that respect, take for instance Minecraft. What if you play without any monsters? Is it an adventure? Or is it a farm? Is a farming and building game? If you play it with monsters, you're playing, sort of an adventure RPG. Perhaps if you're playing lots on servers with other people, it's online cooperative or online competitive.
We should do a Minecraft hardcore stream at some point.
I've never played
That-
Minecraft.
That
Never
would be
played Minecraft.
hilarious. That
Never
would be
played it.
hilarious.
It would be. So I used to watch all of these PBG Minecraft hardcore series in which you'd get like a bunch of people on and they'd all play Minecraft, and if people died, they were dead for good. So it was like they had a goal to complete with all these like wacky characters trying to complete it, and they almost always failed. They were really funny. I don't know if we could do something like that, but
We
I'd
could
be
always
up for
try.
that.
I mean,
I've
Sounds
never
silly.
played
Yeah.
Minecraft.
You don't need to much to learn, to be honest. You hit things and then you click things to put them down, and
Yeah.
you use a crafting
Basically,
table.
but there's very few things you actually need to learn, because the only thing you really need to know is if you hear a
Yeah, it's little
sound,
like gremlin.
you
run.
run straight forward as far, sprint forwards immediately, and you might live. And that's basically all you need to know. The rest you can just be. The rest is just like, here's a stick. Put some rocks on
you
it.
say-
I've made a shovel.
You're like, yeah, mate, yeah, Amy, we'll play this game, knowing that I have very little time as it is these days.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This could be a vague future plan for like 5
A
years'
vague-
time when we all
yeah.
retire.
Yeah, we'll get-
Some
we'll get-
apocalypse hits.
Sometime next year.
we'll get round to it in like 2027, and then
Yeah.
no one else will
Just
play
after-
Minecraft, and we'll be the unique people.
Just after
Exactly.
the second plague.
This is literally the year of weddings for me, so I'm like, I'm flat out right now. Wedding.
Wedding.
Way
Ready.
too much.
Yeah.
Done.
So, but now we've had Tom. Rowan, your experience of RPGs.
Like it kind of started back with World of Warcraft, I guess. Playing that since I was like 14 or younger. Entirely by accident. My dad just asked me to walk his character, who was like a level 10 Night Elf Hunter from like Dolinar to like Darnassus, and I was enthralled by the world immediately and sequestered a character on his, login. And then started, and then very quickly began making a story with all my shit characters until they were transferred to my own account and I could play on my own. Still working on that fucking thing. It's been over a decade now. That with it. Then it was doing
getting there.
D&D with my dad. My first ever character was a gay elf from D&D version 1 called Ganfluff the Queer,
Fantastic.
with Frodo the Camp being my panther companion.
Oh god.
Fantastic.
I
Oh,
don't
that
think
is a
I did
name.
very much other than talk in a posh accent and occasionally throw meat at a wolf. And that was my role in the group, and I played with my brother who had like Durin Iron Fist or something like that, dwarf. It was very awkward. And then I joined Penance.
I'm sorry.
And the rest is history. Oh, and I ran a short campaign based on the Magnus Archives for a few friends for like a few months,
Ah, nice.
and that was pretty fun. So I've done a little bit of DMing, but not a lot.
Dum.
Dum-dum-dum. Alright.
Oh, and I did one at uni, which lasted like 5 sessions before half the group fell out with each other, and then
It's always
It's
good,
fine.
good when you have a D&D group that just all decide, nah, fam, we don't even like each other. You're like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was more like one member was a twat face, so
Hey.
no one wanted to play with him. No, it wasn't you. You weren't there.
We hadn't met at this point.
I don't even
we had
know who you are.
I think we had met, but like we were just playing WoW, and that was it.
Probably.
Yeah, it's around that time. Years ago. Either way, who's next?
Amy.
So I was late coming to RPGs because we didn't really have a lot of money in my family to have like consoles and things, or PC at the time. So really, it was Rayman 3 was the first one, Echo the Dolphin, because at that point we could afford the old stuff. Yoshi's Story on an N64, one of my all-time favorites. The cutest game ever. Super Mario. But it wasn't until I got a PS3 and played Dragon Age, because I never had Final Fantasy, I never had Skyrim, I never had Oblivion or any of those. It was straight into Dragon Age, and then I've never really left. And then Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning. I kind of like those kind of games. And then Sims. I like things like Banished, City Builders, Feudal Village. But then I kind of like, I try and do things like Lara Croft and stuff, but I'm not very good at it. And shooting games just frustrate the hell out of me. And I play games to chill out, not to be
Stress
wound
out.
up. Yeah, to be wound up by stuff like that. So I don't really play co-op too often. I very rarely play co-op things. Very
I play
rarely.
co-op sometimes. It's competitive that I
played
struggle
Wrath
with.
with you guys, and even with like the motion sickness thing, I was just like, I can't do this. This just hurts my head so much.
For a family of trawlermen, then you can't do
I
with
know,
that.
but I've tried being on trawler boats as a kid and stuff, and like I do not have my father's stomach of steel. I do not.
Also, I cannot understand the appeal of things like Call of Duty. Like, I don't get the appeal of shooting games.
I like the history elements of it and the battles, like the historical battles and things like that. I like that element of it. I just don't care enough about weapons, and I can't aim anyway, and I don't have the coordination for them. So they just end up frustrating me, and I don't like that for gaming.
Yeah. I can't aim at all with controller.
I like a good story with good twists, with fantastically well written NPC or like party characters, and BioWare tend to do that quite well. At least with the Dragon Age series.
I think with Dragon Age, the only thing that really bothered me was the combat is terrible.
Yes. Everybody says the Origins is clunky, whereas I like the tactics of Origins. I hate the tactics of the newer games because they only gave us 4 options in Inquisition, and I'm like, I don't want to have to keep stopping and individually have to do each character. I just want to have the set tactics, and then I don't have to bother making sure you take a potion when you need a potion. It's automatic.
I mean, I tried to replay through Dragon Age a couple of months ago before we started this one because I wanted to just remember a couple of things.
The first one.
Yeah, and the problem was I'll play on normal, and then literally I got to like 5-6 fights in, and I'm like, this is just not fun. The combat is not fun. So I just put it on easy and just was like, oh fuck, I could just at least ignore most of the combat then. Yep. Because the combat is just terrible. It's as we go, and you press a button, it doesn't react immediately. It goes, right, well, I'll set that up to go in like 10 seconds, and you're just like...
My friend tried to get me to play Mass Effect, and I could not shoot, even on the easiest difficulty setting. I was dying a lot.
Lacey's been trying to get me to play Mass Effect for like nearly a year now. And I still haven't played it. I downloaded it and everything, and then I was like, okay, I'll try it, and I like tried it for like 20 minutes, and then my computer wouldn't accept my controller, so I couldn't use the controller. I had to use keyboard and mouse, and I can't even do that. So I was like, no, we'll put this down, and then I figured out a way to get it to work. But by that point, I had moved on, and I had uninstalled it and reinstalled The Sims instead. So I'm just gonna build houses. It's fine.
My friend ended up doing all the shooting sections for me, so I could go back to flirting with the female commander person thing. I think her name was Kelly. She looked like a Kelly.
I cannot remember their name.
I just kept sitting like my shepherd in front of the strippers and just being an absolute gay menace throughout the whole thing.
Classic Rowan.
Classic game Ennis throwing.
just constantly doing all the RP stuff and then going, oh, shooting, and handing the controller back to my friend so I could get back to flirting with the fucking NPCs.
I remember logging into Pete's game and Dragon Age and literally just going through his inventory going, you don't need that, don't you need that, you don't need that, you don't need that, junk. Look at all the money you have now.
No, that was Kingdoms of
That is a very familiar
Amalur, wasn't
phrase.
it?
Oh, was it Kingdoms of
That used
Amalur?
to
No,
happen with us in
Kingdoms of-
Warcraft, Tom.
Kingdoms of Amalur, Amy said, oh, you've got this, that's great, I love this game, where'd you get to? Loads my save up, goes, how'd you have so much stuff? How'd you have so much money? And you're here? This is so far, this is really early in the game, how did you get this much stuff here? And I'm like...
because you haven't sold any of it. You're just looking all around.
I didn't need to sell it, I had money. I was like,
I know. And I'm just like, but you literally could buy all of these quests in a row. You don't even have to like go and farm for gold. You literally just have to go, here's your gold. Give me my stuff. Carry on with the story.
Oh, I remember when you would share screen when we were playing Warcraft, Tom, and just looking at your
It
inventory.
was hilarious. Like the first time, I was like, "Oh, I don't have much space," and you're like, "Oh, that's okay. I just, sell some of the junk items." I was like, "Okay," so I sold like 2 slots worth of stuff, and like I don't know. After the first few sessions, you're like, "What? Can you show me your screen just for a minute?"
Because I couldn't understand, me
Why?
with tons of bag space and everything organized with like bags for different items and yada yada yada. And I just remember looking at the screen and going, Tom, why do you have like 5 rolls of linen cloth? Haven't you been doing your first aid?
What's the first aid?
oh, fucking wow.
And then stack upon stack of freshly baked bread.
Just a lot of bread, yeah.
All the
Around
bread.
the entire thing.
Your personified roof.
Just a
All the
lot of bread.
All the bread.
Yeah, it was that Burning Crusade private server, and there was like no one ever online, so it was just the 2 of us rambling throughout the Azerothian countryside, leveling 2 Draenei together.
Until we crashed it.
And
Anyway.
then like the sharing
couple
freshly
times.
baked bread became like a running gag. As it
Yeah. Appear to be fallen on troubling times. Here, have some freshly baked bread.
Oh, you appear to be a lawyer. Have some bread.
Yes.
I'm still
Oh my
pissed that the
God.
server went down when we were 1 level away from hitting max.
Oh my god, that was just like,
That's frustrating. Oh, that's nasty.
We remade them on retail, but I don't have the time for WoW at the moment, and I don't know how to get back into it again. It's been so long. I need to, but oh god, well the updates. I'm just dreading seeing that screen flashing up of,
WoW?
here, new area to explore, new quest, do this, and I'm like,
Because I dropped out after Mist of Pandaria, so I don't know what the new...
After Mr. Pandaria was Warlords of Draenor, which was
Yeah.
hilarious because it basically
Shite.
it was hilarious because it was like, here's your base, here's everything we're gonna give you, here's fucking crazy amounts of gold, here's crazy amount of objects, here's crazy amount of things, have you an auction house? And they're like, okay. See, if I bothered to grind gold as I did in Warlords of Draenor, I would have had money to buy the fucking what's it called, the fucking Brontosaurus with the auction with the thing on it.
I missed an opportunity for my dino mount.
Yeah.
See, I actually liked Battle for Azeroth. I think I might be the only person, but I don't raid. I farm achievements and bum around and collect mounts.
Yeah,
and
that's
RP
me
a
as
bit.
well. I'm not really bothered about like dungeons.
I like the world.
Dungeons and things. I like exploring the world and doing quests and.
I
Like
just
a bit of Mythic Plus is fun, like just a bit of a challenge here and there.
Yeah,
and then I go back to
definitely.
bumming around and collecting old achievements, So when I see the big flashing neon sign of new area, do the new thing, I'm like, no, leave me alone. Let me just farm Yogg-Saron again.
Yeah, I'm like, let me go around the edges and then slowly work my way in, and then
Yeah.
like go into the middle and then work my way back out. That's how I do it. I'm like, I need to dip my toe in first. I don't want
Yeah.
to go straight all the way in.
I think with WoW, the problem I had was the raids became no fun.
It became like a job.
Well, the problem was that we used to always have this, I don't know if you ever saw any of our stuff, was we had a raiding guild that was very much the epitome of, it doesn't matter how skilled you are, come in, learn the game, we'll teach you how to fucking play, we'll have a laugh with it.
Yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
that's how I got in.
Because that's how we thought, you know, we'd always be, and we were like that for as long as I was basically there, the best I
Yeah.
could, even though it made many people grumpy, and I had to deal with so much fucking squabbling between people for so many years.
But then
Because
if you're
nobody
not,
would agree on anything, and then the eventually people would just go, right, fine, okay. But the raids went from, you could have 20 people, because the flex raids came in and that was great, because basically it just meant that you didn't have to worry about only having 10. Or we had like 17 people that wanted to raid, and it's like, that's just the point where you're like, you can't have 2 groups because you don't have enough people that play the right roles for that. You can't have 25 because you're woefully under people for that. You can't try and bulk up with pugs because they'll just leave. So you're like, then flex raids came in and that was fun. But the problem with flex raids were that the difficulty went from, you could have people, and if 1 or 2 die, you're fine. You can do a couple of combat reses, you can get by. To the last one, last one I did, which was, I can't remember the name of it. It's the one with all the blood guys in Shadowlands. It literally became, if anyone dies, you're just gone. Denarius, that was the one. Thank you, Zeph. But it was like, you can have 20 people, and if one person dies, you don't have the DPS to do it. And you're like, it's not fun.
no.
Yeah.
Like, all the mechanics are literally a case of, like, if you're playing a tank, especially because I did a tank for 10 years, it's literally just a case of, you can mistime your cooldown by once and your health goes gone. And it's not even a case of, like, you know, oh, I take, you know, a chunk of
It's
damage and fuck
so-
him, I can't keep up, I'm dead. No, it's just dead. And you're like,
Yeah.
it's not fun,
Yeah,
you know,
some
because
of the most
it's just total
fun times I had in
wipeout.
WoW.
you
Like,
spend...
the most fun I had in WoW were like weird pug groups that were just weirdly persistent.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
they just kept going through problems.
I
Like,
did, when
those are the times I remember fondly.
when I went to, briefly during, I think it was Warlords actually, I went to someone's alliance guild because I wanted something else to do when I wasn't in charge, and the problem is within a week I became an officer in that guild, and I was like, oh no, why does this keep happening to me?
Because you're good at it. That's
Yeah,
why.
I'm apparently good with people. But yeah, I went to their guild and we just did some really weird pugs for a while, where it literally was a case of we tried to do raiding, no one would turn up, so we just pug people, and then we'd just be sitting around just gibbering with each other for like 45 minutes while we wait for this group to fill up, and then everyone would leave, and then we'd just sit for another 45 minutes waiting for it to fill up again, then it would leave, and then we get enough, then we have one pull, then it would wipe, and then everyone would leave, and you're just like, yeah.
I think probably the stupidest time I remember, it was the Cataclysm expansion, which is some time ago now. And
Oh, yeah.
we were going through the final set of heroic dungeons that was released with the final patch.
Those.
The end time.
There's only power!
Yeah, we were going through all 3. And we got through the first one really well. And I was used to everyone dropping out after number 1, so I didn't expect, but we went on to the next one. Like, actually followed the story through. The second one, I remember, went pretty good again. It was getting quite late at night. I remember everyone really actually was polite to each other and really tried to help. And we got through that. And then the third one hit, and our healer had to leave because it was now 2 a.m. And the rest of us decided, fuck it, we're going to finish this. So some random DPS monk, I think. No, not a monk. It was a shaman? Yeah. Random DPS shaman changed like the restoration to try and keep everyone alive. I went on to battle resing duty because I was a DK. Our tank was now like, yeah, the tank changed to the healer and the DPS changed to tank, and I was put on battle resing duty. And then we had like one mage that would constantly die from over aggroing, and we spent 2 hours trying to get through the first boss like this.
Oh,
And
I
we
remember
did
those
it.
days.
We actually did it. And the next few went great. And we were like, guys, we might actually get this done. It's approaching 3 o'clock in the morning. And then finally, we're running up to the last boss. The healer appears. Finally, the dungeon finder dinged and we got a healer. And everyone immediately was like, holy shit, thank you. We all went back to our roles and downed the last boss in 30 seconds. And it's just lodged in my brain of like one of the stupidest moments in Warcraft, but I loved it.
And yes, as I've said in chat, I did just basically when the Alliance Guild fell apart, I just stole everyone that was good and came back to my Horde Guild.
Fair enough.
That's how I ended up stealing like 5 people. Because I was, I'm evil. But yeah, there's weird things with WoW. There's a lot of weird stories with WoW that I remember. But the thing I also remember is the last boss that actually felt like a proper boss to me was Scarosh. As a tank.
Yeah.
Every fight since then didn't give me the same spark. Because there was a genuine sense of achievement when we got him down, because my Christ, we've been going at him for fucking months by that point. And everything, I think Pandaria was the last proper decent raid, and then everything after that was just, it was alright. It was some silly raids after that. You know, like one where, you know, just spending the whole time going, I wonder if this will kill me. Nope, that doesn't kill me. I wonder if this will kill me. Nope, that doesn't kill me. Will this kill me? Oh, yeah, I'm dead, fuck. It's just, but I think with WoW, my problem was it literally just became, I could not be paying attention and just pawing the keyboard half not really paying attention, and I'd kill things. And they would take like 5 hours to kill them, but I'd just be like, I don't care. Meh. And it just became so monotonous to me. That's like, oh yeah, go and kill 50 of this, 30 of this, 40 of this, 40 of this, 20 of this, 10 of this, and all that. I don't care
the
anymore.
murder shopping list.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand World Quest, I understand them giving stuff, but yeah.
It's why I
When I
liked going
first-
back and getting like old achievements from like Mr. Pandaria raids that I'd missed out on, and going for like the special mounts you get for all of them ones.
I really
I
enjoyed
brought my
Mr.
mates.
Pandaria. That was, I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I loved the storyline for that. That got dark.
It was so pretty as well, though. It was just the whole Pandaria world was just so lovely.
What are you gonna say, Tom?
How enemies just like, you know, just hit buttons and enemies dies. But when when I first started with Rowan, we were doing that on that private server, and that is not how that was not how it played on the first couple of expansions. Oh boy.
We needed plans for some of those quests.
We
'Cause
needed
were
plans
tank and
just
healer.
for overworld mobs, just
Yeah.
for chumps.
Yeah.
We needed to plan carefully and in advance for fighting chumps.
Yeah. Do you remember the fucking wooden key? Oh
I do
my
remember
god.
the wooden key. I remember you made a drawing of that, did you not? It was funny from my point of view.
Yeah, you got 3 of them. We were at it for
did.
hours. Fuck it, I'm gonna find that drawing now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a good drawing.
Well, I
That
am
one,
going,
I liked the
I am
facial
going to go
expressions in it.
because I am about to fall asleep.
You're
That's
not allowed to
fine,
fall
yeah.
asleep. You said earlier.
I am going to fall asleep. I've been like sitting here and I'm like slowly sliding to the side.
That's fine,
I'm
Amy.
gonna go have a nap. Have a lovely afternoon, everybody. Have a
Take
lovely
care.
afternoon
Bye.
stream.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
And
Bye.
if I need to find buttons, there we go.
There's the
Find the
drawing there,
button.
by the way.
Bye.
See you soon.
Yeah. I
There's,
think
there's the drawing there, Tom.
the only reason I really want them to do a Cataclysm retro server is because if they do that, then they could do a Mists one.
Yeah.
I have a feeling if they stop, no one really wants a Cataclysm retro server because Cataclysm wasn't very good. Don't get me wrong, the raids were fun, but Cataclysm itself was not the best expansion. It was kind of meh. But if they don't do a Cataclysm retro server, classic server, they can never do a Mists one, and that'd be the problem, because Mist is the one I really want a classic server of, because it was the last good expansion in my mind.
I do really like the facial expressions on that picture. They're
Where is
just
this
they're just
picture?
so good. Screenshots and clips. They're really just such good facial. And it's
It
almost
was
exactly
with the neck
what.
tentacles curling up in anger as well. I had so much fun drawing.
1 second, I will put this up for the stream.
Yeah, I love the my expression is just like, oh, nice. You know, it's not like super happy. It's just like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, I like that. It's just a cool wooden key. The third one, I think. And then you're
They're
just like
furious.
looming to one side. Oh
Because
my
I remember
God.
I was getting really frustrated as it went on.
Oh, you really
We
were.
were, for context, for everyone listening, we were 3 levels under it was an orange quest for us.
Yeah.
And we were a tank healer combo, paladin and shaman,
Ooh.
both Draenei.
We had
Burning
0
Crusade.
DPS. we
We
had
had no
0
fucking-
DPS.
The DPS was me hitting lightning bolt, like that was it.
That was
And you
basically it.
occasionally dropping a hammer. That was it.
Occasionally, I had some hammers to drop, but yeah, the DPS was. We had
would
lots of
sit there
staying power. Don't get me wrong,
planning
but the problem is,
Attack for like a while. We'd have to be like at full health, and we'd do one at a time, and it was taking forever. Like it would take us 7 minutes to get each of these mobs down, and it was like
It was
a 2%
pretty rough.
drop chance. And it dropped 4 times over the course of how many hours?
it's got to be like at least 3, right?
Yeah.
It might be
3,
longer
the
than that.
first 3 were for you, and they were soul bound, and you couldn't give them to me, and I was like, fuck's sake, I just want the fucking key.
Yeah, they were quest items, so they were soul bound. I was like, when I got the second one, I was like, oh, I can give this one to you. Nope. Nope. Do you
And
know
then we
what?
heard, oh, I've got another wooden key.
I'm pretty sure I kept one of those wooden keys on my keychain forever.
In
Just
memory
because
of it.
just because it was hilarious.
It's right up there with
sorry.
the fucking warg tails, you know?
Oh my god, yeah. 15 wolf tails.
And it was the
God.
fact that it took so much planning and so much mana and so much of our health just to take one of them down. And like after every 2 mobs, we'd have to sit down and eat, which would take more time. And
Because although we had a lot of staying power, so did the enemies. So if
Yeah.
it took a long time to kill anything, which meant that it had a lot of opportunity to kill us.
Yeah.
Especially if we accidentally drew, 2 more
wandered too
over the
close
hill.
to a wolf, you know?
Yeah. I think we could
the
take
wolf
like
wandered
2
close to us.
just if we were very well prepared.
Yeah,
But,
and if I whacked down like
if we were
every
expecting
totem
it, that
and-
is.
Yeah.
I
I
forgot
still
about
remember the first time we had problems was the end of the Blood Mist Isle quest where we had to go for that dragon. Do you remember that?
Which dragon? The
Black
one
dragon on the top of the mountain.
Yeah, the top of the mountain. That was it. I remember that. I
And it
remember
was
falling
like a
off
whole
that
thing.
that mountain a couple times.
And it was one of my totems that allowed us to actually do the quest because it stopped the fear mechanic that kept
Yeah.
killing us.
Yeah, the fear, because as soon as one of us wandered away, the other one just.
Because you had no healing and I had no defense. So
Yeah.
we couldn't have leveled if it hadn't have been 2 of us, I don't think. Like, I remember struggling up until that point just on a little chamois, you know.
Eventually, we, managed to get there, but oh boy, did it take time.
Yeah, we actually got our fast, like, ground mounts as well. Like, organically, no cheating. We just saved up a lot of gold. Basically, from day one, we just kept saving gold. We didn't buy anything we didn't need, you know?
Yeah, we
was
were very
budgeting.
frugal.
And we were just about going to get flying mounts when the server went down.
Yeah. We'd finally saved up enough.
when I first went back to Classic just to see what it was like again, I remembered immediately what I did, and that's find a way somehow to get to Desolus. Because once you got to Desolus, you could do the eternally keep handing in unlock cages for fish quest that paid you relatively well. So you just, even as like a low level, you just go down, open the cage, and sometimes you'd luck out and there'd be nothing in it apart from a fish. So you'd be like, brilliant, I'll just do this for like 5 hours and eventually I'll get money and I'll get fish and I'll get gold and I'll get all this other stuff. And you're like, yeah. And that's the only reason I had any money in Classic. Because that's
think
what you did
we
in
did.
Classic. You just ground something that you found that made you money.
I think we just did it organically through like quest rewards and selling things because there was no auction house. There were 30 people online if we were lucky in the whole server, you know?
Yeah,
So
they're, you know, at
it was
any
just
one
careful
time.
budgeting from level 1 and we managed it just. And we had
Basically, we
one
instead
mount
of
each.
buying our way out of problems, we just smacked our head against them until we broke through to conserve the money.
Yeah, basically. We didn't
Number
have
of times-
potions
the num-
unless you made them, and I did herbalism to support that, I think.
Yep.
It was very much like mutual leaning on each other for support to get ourselves through that, and we got all the way up to level 69.
Nice.
Nice.
I think we made that
Alas.
joke several times.
Yeah, we did. And I still have all the screenshots from it, because like every time something iconic would happen, we'd just take a screenshot. And we ended up with a collage of like 200 images of it.
Nice.
Oh man. That was cool.
See, I think I look at it now and
Good
it's like,
times.
I don't really miss WoW. I miss what it was to me at the time. And I probably at some point will go back and probably play one of the classic servers because that's what I remember. I don't miss the current game. I miss the people. God, I miss the people. I really do miss the people.
Yeah.
I miss my guild. I miss the people who I've been friends with for, 10, 12, 15 years. I miss
I mean, it
them
came out in
because...
2004. You know, this was a completely different culture online. It was a completely different gaming community.
Yeah.
These were friends. You know, the internet was a weird place.
Yeah, it
It was
is.
just
It's
kind of
still a
happened.
weird, it's still a weird
still
place, but at
weird.
least people can't track you as easily back then.
Yeah, and it was also like now the internet is more. It's very business orientated in some ways. You know, everything is monetized. Everything is your own identity online. Everything is integrated for maximum engagement. Build your audience. You know,
Yeah.
and it just wasn't that back then. It was random people on the internet bumming around, most of them children or weird nerds.
Yep.
It's just a different community, I guess, or a different way it works. And WoW was just really good for building that kind of odd community, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now gaming has changed, so it's now, everything is monetized and also competitive in a way it wasn't before.
Yeah.
The guild races to world first are now a huge thing. They stream it.
I mean, they always used to be a big thing, but the problem is that they only used to be a big thing if you cared.
Yeah, and it'd be news circulating in a server kind of thing. You had to kind of actually talk to people to kind of do anything because nobody was famous, really, or they were, but they were like, nerd famous.
Yeah.
Nerd famous.
It's just a different culture online
It
now.
is a very
and I
different
think
culture. No. I mean, I think
And I don't think it's because WoW is bad. I think WoW is just an older style of game.
I think
trying to be modern.
the things that got to me was Cataclysm. One of the only good things that came out of Cataclysm was there was a lot of love for guilds. Because that's when you got guild leveling, you got the have group will travel, so you could teleport people to the raid. So you didn't have to spend the whole time being like, oh for fuck's sake, where are you? You're here, oh can we get a summon? Oh for fuck's sake. But the problem is that generated the hilarious point of one person would make their way there, find a cliff, stand on the edge of it and summon everyone so they'd all summon in and die.
Oh my god, there was a dungeon where you went down a tube and you landed in water. I used to keep putting on Path of Frost.
Oh. Yeah, you put that water walking on and then to watch people just slam straight to the ground and die and like, what killed me? Don't know, don't know at all.
And then quickly nodded off so nobody would notice. This happened several times. I never got kicked.
The love you got for guilds in Cataclysm just eroded over the expansions that followed, because it went from your guild's important, community, play together, here's some words for playing together, here's the words if you do stuff, good stuff and so on, and then it went from that to Warlords of Draenor, which was just no, have your own place, This is your own place.
Yeah, I fucking hate that.
We can't give guilds this because the guildmaster might exploit it. But we can give you your own place with everything in it, so they fucked the economy because it gave you everything you'd want.
Yeah.
And then after that, it just became less and less. And I think in Shadowlands, it was, you can join more than one guild. And I'm like, what? People, I've been in the same guild. Well, I've pretty much been in the same guild since Wrath, basically. I think I left briefly at the end of Wrath, and I came back in Cataclysm. But I basically have been in the same guild for Wrath till Shadowlands. Long fucking time. It's like 10, 12, 14 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And I love the guild I was in. I didn't want to go and join other random guilds for other shit. I've been in other guilds. You know, I've had other characters in other guilds, and they've just sucked. I don't really see the point of why you'd want to have several guilds, but they never cared about little close guilds anymore after a certain point. They're just like, no. Guilds are...
It was either competitive, we're going for world first guilds, or like bucket guilds, I call them. Like everyone's in it. They just spam you the second you make a character.
Yep.
It's just bots. And it's just a bit sad, really.
Yep. It's a shame because, as I said, Cataclysm did so much to improve the sense of community you had. And even Mists, it was still there, though they'd removed a lot of stuff.
And like even Shadowlands, it's not a bad expansion. Like the quests are really fun. I loved questing in it, even though I was 2 fucking years late to the party, thanks, COVID and 3 jobs. I loved the world. I loved the way it looked. I loved the expansions on the lore. It was... I think more so like content routes combined with just the internet and the culture of gaming changing.
My problem with WoW in the end was it went from being, here's what you need to do in the week, like here's X amount of Valor points you can earn in the week to get something.
Yeah.
Like, okay, fair enough. Then it went from badges, then Valor points, and then it went right. Well, you no longer do Valor points, but you can do daily quests, and you're like, okay.
The dailies can get repetitive.
Dailies, and then it was dailies and Valor points, and it was dailies and Valor points and something else, and it was just like, this is just too much to keep up with. I don't know, they're like, oh, you don't have to do it, and it's like, yeah, but if I don't do it, I start slipping what I could get, and I should try and, do this so I'm actually a bit better than what I am, and you just, no. It's just too much of a slope upwards, and then you're literally looking at it, and it's like, when you have a certain eye level, the gear you get from all the world quests is shit, but then you go up by 1 point, all of it becomes massively a big upgrade, and then you're like...
Yeah. And it just became like, it's so much to do every day. You end up with like the laundry list. Especially
with the covenants and stuff, when it was like, oh, you need to grind out this a day, and then it was like, oh, go and do... What was the fucking prison called? I actually liked the weird thing they did in the prison,
Yeah, Torghast.
Yeah, I liked Torghast.
I bumped around on that mostly on my own, because I refuse to talk to anyone unless I have to in a game. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, that was fun. Yeah. I can see how it get fucking annoying if you're just doing it every goddamn week to get the amount that you need to do the quest, to do the building up, then to complete the rest of the story, to then get to
it's like you need to grind the world quest to get the rep, to get the item, to get the quest done, to get this, and you're just like...
Yeah. Yeah, I just miss doing a quest chain to get the thing for the raid.
Yep.
You know? But it's just really fucking difficult. And it'll kick your ass, and you need a team of people.
Yep. There are just so many things in WoW that I look back on and say I really enjoyed that point. And then there's so many times I look back on WoW and saying that I fucking hated that.
Yeah. Yep. Do you remember when we had to get the mallet to get into Zoldrak?
Oh, Zoldrak, yes.
Yep.
I remember that mallet.
We did that. That fucking mallet.
Oh, I remember that.
I do remember that.
I think you got clipped outside of the dungeon there as well, Tom. You got clipped outside and then you couldn't get your loot, so we had to do the whole thing again the next day so you could finish the quest.
Yeah, something like that. It was a bit of a pavlova.
Yeah, there were some weird bugs in that private server, but overall it was really solid. Like, legitimately very close to the actual game, just empty.
Well, yeah, real empty.
Do you remember when we crashed the whole server?
Yeah, I do.
How did you crash the server?
It's only a
Let's say
little
the
one.
story.
Not really. It's embarrassing. Basically, we were playing. What was the dungeon we were doing?
Black Fathom Depths.
That one. Turns out it was bugged, and we weren't aware of this.
We asked
so
about it before and no one got back to us.
yeah, and so we just like formed up a random team when some other people were online, which was tricky in the first place.
But we actually managed it. We got a
We
team.
managed it. We had like what 6, 8 of us maybe.
5.
can't
It was a dungeon.
I can't remember. It's long ago. Anyway, went in after an hour of faffing around trying to get everyone there, and went into this dungeon. Was fighting dudes.
We got some gear, I think.
We got
The
a
first
few.
2 bosses were fine.
Got a couple bits of gear. Fought a couple of big bads. And then and there was some messages going on that we weren't really paying attention to in like the world chat.
Yeah. Because we
Local
were
chat.
focusing on the bosses, and I don't think you
were a bit
get
busy.
like general chat while you're in dungeons, do you?
Anyway, either way, we weren't paying attention, and then
didn't
we
see it.
noticed, and then I noticed I was getting some real bad lag. Now, normally, I sort of ignore lag because, but in this instance, it was particularly atrocious. And I pointed it out in the like team chat,
Party chat thing.
party
yeah.
chat. And someone else was like, "Oh yeah, same. I'm getting some pretty
And I
harsh
was
lag."
as well, and yeah.
By this point, although we weren't aware of it, was it the Discord? Yeah, the Discord was
Discord and
absolutely
general.
crapping itself.
As
With
the entire world went into lag.
the entire world just stuttered to a halt, basically.
It had a bug, basically, where these certain mobs would spawn ceaselessly.
Like
So you'd end up with thousands of them.
on every tick,
Yeah.
that it would spawn more of them because it'd be like, oh well, spawn. You know. So.
And then
So
the
I don't
game
think we ever.
froze.
I don't think we ever actually saw the mobs because they would have spawned in before. Because we were in a small tunnel system at the time, so we wouldn't have actually.
they were out
They would have
of view.
spawned in before we. But no doubt, if we'd looked through the walls, we'd have seen just like a horrific mass of satires or something. I don't know.
Oh, it was Satyrs
writhing.
and Naga in particular, yeah. And the whole game froze for like 5 minutes. And then everyone was booted to the login screen. The whole server.
It was bad. Someone was
And
like,
then we
okay.
got on and we were all
right.
in the graveyard as ghosts, looking as general chat explodes at a rate we have never seen on this tiny server.
Yeah.
And then you go on the Discord, and it's
like,
just
oh,
everyone being
no.
like, what's going on? Someone's in Black Fathom Depths. Oh god, get them out. Who is it? A low-level alliance group. Chug on, little guys. Keep going.
Don't do that. Jeez. That's the worst thing you could do. Back out immediately.
Yeah.
It was good.
I
good
had
fun.
to personally apologize to the manager of the server for that. And even the next day I went on and people were still talking about it. Like, do you know who it was? And I'm like, no. Don't look at me, please.
Yeah, it was good. It's the sort of thing that, it's the sort of thing that people talk about years later. They're like, oh, do you remember when we were playing on that private server? Do you remember what it was called? I can't remember what it was called. Do you remember when that
Vengeance.
whole server crashed? Man, that was. Did we ever work out who did that? Was it just some random chumps? Yeah, I don't know who it was. Maybe we should look back through the logs one day, just have a giggle at the idiots
I
who
have a
decided it'd be a good
screenshot
idea.
from it.
Probably.
Oh,
We
I'm
got
just
lots of
gonna find it.
screenshots.
I think I do have a screenshot. Where would it be? Lord. Okay, I've got a folder called Vengeance WoW.
Oh god.
Probably in here. Quite a lot. This might take a while.
I should probably delete that folder as well. Maybe keep the screenshots section.
Yeah, I've kept it.
I don't think I need the rest of it, to be honest.
Oh my god, I found it.
Oh god.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Let's see if I can find the actual freeze. There we go, it's that one. I'm just going to stick it on screenshots again.
Alright.
There you go. So it was me and Alex, and then 3 characters named Mum, Absolve, and Rogue's Capo.
Capo was a good egg. Capo was everywhere. There had lots of characters.
Oh yeah, yeah. And Mum, I remember being particularly chill.
Mum was pretty cool.
Yeah. I have no memories of Absolve at all. I think they just played and talk.
Yep. They played and then they weren't, a git or anything. They just did their job and that was it.
Oh no, he said rip in the party. I think someone had just died.
I'm
And
not
then I
sure if that was the
battle-read.
server dying or us dying.
It could be either, quite
Could
frankly.
be either. Yeah, because we were fighting a few satires. I remember this little bit of the dungeon where there was a little dip of water, just like the tunnel, just dipped down just for a bit, and there's a little puddle.
There you go. There's another one. Do I have more?
I think this is, this is before it all went to hell.
Yeah, that was just beforehand.
Why am I so much brighter than everyone else?
No idea. Weird lighting.
I'm like in the foreground, and everyone else is just like in the shadows.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. There's a weird story.
Yeah. Oh well. It's always good to have. I don't think I've. No, with WoW, I can't even remember any weird shit that's happened to me with WoW over the years. There's so much either absolute bizarre shit or that, like the fact that my brain's forgotten what I was going to talk about. Apologies. But yeah, like WoW was my life for like 10, 12 years, and I'm looking at it now and I'm going, I don't miss it. I miss the people, as I said. I really miss the people. Don't miss the game. But
I think also just the world in general I found absolutely engaging in a bizarre way, And I'm not saying WoW has good writing, because it doesn't. It writes like a Saturday morning cartoon with extra explosions.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it kind of does.
It's so goofy, and I love it for that. And I love it so goofy and then goes really dark out of nowhere and actually tackles a topic.
Yeah. I mean...
And then spirals back off into Moonland,
I mean, I don't think I read a single piece of quest text after Mist. I think everything after Mist, I just looked at what I needed to do for it and then just like, that is done. I didn't care about the, this little backstory as to why it's important or what you need to do. And I'm like, I don't care, just tell me what I need to do with it. Just, click, hit accept and move on. I don't read the flavor text anymore. I think that was the beginning of the end, really.
For me, it was when quests would turn up on the map. So you just look at the map and you know where to go and you just fly there.
Oh,
and
yeah. That kind of got off a bit because you didn't really explore and find shit then. You just kind of were like, oh, well, I need to go that way.
A to B, A to B, A to B.
Yeah.
And it's good when you've got the laundry list and you don't need to start checking through everything. But I think WoW really worked well at that slower pace.
Yeah, the world's big enough that randomly, sort of blunder exploring is for want of a better term, was really good for it because the world was big enough to have that.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, mapped out, it's about the size of the Isle of Wight
Yeah.
in like in-game meters. You know, it's a big
Man, that's
world.
really. I mean, I was going to say that's tiny. There's a whole world with biomes and crap, and it's the size of the Isle of Wight. Jeez.
But like, I think
But
it was
from a
kind of,
video game point of view,
Yeah.
it's big.
like the actual world map. Like, if you took it seriously and treated it rings, it probably would be, but as in-game meters, it was
Yeah.
pretty small.
I mean, they do a lot of people who have the sort of, was it the run from the top to the bottom in real time thing. So yeah, it's not that big. It's doable. It's just, yeah.
I remember I once ran on my ground mount from Acarus all the way down to Stormwind, just for the fun of it, just to see the old bits of the world again. That
Nerd.
was during Legion.
Bless.
Oh, nostalgia.
As I said, I just, I don't know what it is. Like, it feels really weird that I know there's a WoW expansion coming out like next month, and I just don't care.
Yeah, it
just
feels
doesn't
like I
feel right.
should.
Yeah. I feel like I should be like, oh, at least I should look at it. No, I just have no interest.
I don't have the time. I wish I could. I wish I could delve back into it, but I know I won't be happy playing it.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone to go back and play it with. Simply.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely send you to a guild if you wanted, because the guild's still going.
I mean-
Zeph's still in the guild. I think Zeph's,
Yeah.
I imagine Zeph's probably still an officer if you, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not transferring to Horde, I'm sorry. I've been Alliance for too long now.
Yeah.
It's nostalgic.
Yeah.
I'd miss Stormwind. I can't find my way around Orgrimmar.
I'm glad you're not kind enough than you are actually an officer, Zeph. You deserve it, man. Oh, oh right, okay. I forgot you still haven't got an authenticator. Thanks, Blizzard.
I've still got my old one somewhere.
Yeah, we couldn't promote Zeph to officer because to be an officer you have to have an authenticator attached to your account. So we had to make a new rank for Zeph to have officer powers without the rank of officer. Oh, fuck's sake. I have no idea where my authenticator is now, I should just realised that. For
It's
long
somewhere
since
in my
lost it.
drawers. Yeah.
I've
It
got-
worked all the way up until BFA, and then it finally died.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, sweet child, go to rest.
I have a little StarCraft dongle. That's my WoW authenticator, and I have no idea where it is.
Oh, mine's got the core hound on it.
Ah, cool. I think that was, yeah. They brought,
Cataclysm.
yeah.
Yeah, the Cataclysm one. That's when I got my own account and my own little authenticator. Mostly because it was my dad's, and I nagged him to give it to me because he had stopped playing, and I wanted the core hound pet.
Nah, that's
That
fair.
was it.
That's fair. Oh, fuck.
No, that was a nostalgia trip.
That was a nostalgia trip.
Ooh.
Yeah. I hope so, Zeph. I hope so. Alright, well, I suppose since we've kind of rambled about everything from World Cat Day to WoW, we should probably wind up.
Perhaps.
Yes. So, yeah, thank you everyone for listening along. I know it's just been a ramble rather than an episode. We will be back. Mr. Greg will be here tomorrow with his Everlasting Tales.
Mr. Greg?
Mr. Greg is for Everlasting Tales. If you enjoy proper D&D, then he is very much plays proper D&D. So yes, that's that tomorrow. Then on Tuesday, it's myself and Tom, Meow and Zeph playing Barotrauma. Then after that, I think we're doing, I think I'm doing indie horror again. Got some more weird and bizarre, fucking bizarre shit we found this week. Including the game Bigger Trucks, which is a game about driving bigger trucks. which for some reason, even though it's a game about driving bigger trucks and doesn't look like anything scary at all, has the tag psychological horror. So fuck it, it was 80 pence and it's about bigger trucks. I'm gonna fucking try it. Then after that, Wednesday should be me and Barry playing Neo 2. Thursday will be a late start because I'm doing a off-stream RPG, I believe, for something upcoming, if I remember right. I think it's a... I don't want to give too much away in case I've got it wrong, but it's for something upcoming. Then Friday... So Thursday will be a late night starting indie horror, probably like 11 or 12, depending how long the one shot goes. Then Friday will be myself, hopefully Tom. Hopefully get Tom into Satisfactory this time. You can have a play around with that after this if you want.
Sure.
See if we can get it working. And then after that, we might be doing something late Friday night. After that, it depends entirely on if we have an AJ, if we have a Cassie, and if we have a Meow for some possible ghost watching, or Boo Men, which is the other one that got linked to us the other day that Cassie was sort of trying. It looks silly. Might give it a try. And then I think that's it. I'm sure there's another Halloween recording coming up as well, but I'll update you all when I know. But yes, that is us for today. So yeah, thank you folks for watching along. Let's see, do we know anyone on that we could just roll into? Oh, Darren's on playing Scorn. Oh, for fuck's sake. I don't get this obsession people have for Scorn, but fuck it. We're rolling to Darren. Darren's all a good laugh. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching along. Hopefully we will return next week with some actual Dark Tide. Because we have... I think when November comes, we'll probably get a lot more... When November comes, we'll probably be a lot more rigid with the RPGs because we should have 2 RPGs running at least a week. And hopefully by then I won't be having to move them around from Halloween recordings or anything. So hopefully from November we'll be a bit more consistent with RPGs. But yeah, thank you everyone who's watched along. You all mean the world to us. So yeah, take care folks. We'll roll into Darren. Have a great time and we'll hopefully see you next time. Good night.
Bye.
Wave Tom.